There's a story on nearly every Harlem street. And on this corner, the southeast side of 132nd and Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard, the story is about to be revealed. It is Grant Harper Reed's family history, but really, it is the history of the Harlem Renaissance.
This is a monumental occasion, not just for me because he was my grandfather, but for the people of Harlem.
His grandfather was Leonard Harper. Leonard Harper is being credited as the most important contributor to the entertainment mystique that has made Harlem, Harlem. Leonard Harper was a show producer, show creator, dance man, stage director, choreographer with the golden touch. During the Harlem Renaissance in the 1920s and 30s, his shows were groundbreaking musicals, which included the song Ain't Misbehavin', which he brought to Broadway. Or how about the Pepper Pot? He produced more than 2,000 shows for the stage and screen, including the production of the dance scenes and the first feature-length talking film from a black director, Oscar Micheaux, titled The Exile.
A little number entitled Make Hay Hay While the Sun is Shining.
But it was the dance routines produced by Leonard Harper. People were not quite used to this. Leonard Harper even performed for the Queen. Queen Mary loved the show Harper brought to England.
At that time, vaudeville was out of style. It was getting tired. So he added a lot of black pep to it, like a little something in the butt department with his chorus lines. And he started bringing in money for all these white theater owners downtown.
Leonard Harper took his talents uptown. Reviews credit Harper with putting the Apollo and the Cotton Club on the map. And as the in-house producer, Harper made Connie's Inn the place to be. The icons of a generation were working for Harper back then. He is said to have launched the careers of legends.
During that time, this street was popping with rhythm. Everybody was here. Bojangles, Ethel Waters, Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, Cab Calloway.
Those long-legged dancing girls called the Harperettes, girls who history has told us had to be a certain shade of light to not offend white audiences. Leonard Harper and his wife Osceola were the power couple of their day, bringing the beat to Harlem.
No question, this is one magical area, and like many streets in Harlem, there is such a history here. You can almost feel, even today, the rhythm that ruled the beat that kept this area jumping.
So much information, Grant Harper Reed decided to put it in a book titled Rhythm for Sale. It is about his grandfather's life, starting in the South as poor as a church mouse, dancing for pennies, eventually producing the entertainment for clubs owned by notorious gangsters like Dutch Schultz and Lucky Luciano. And at the height of his career, the only black producer to take his shows on tour with the Schubert Theater. Clearly, Leonard Harper was a groundbreaker in every way. On this day, sitting in Just Lorraine's, one of Harlem's old school bars, situated on the opposite corner of where Connie's Inn was located, Grant Harper Reed told me he basically stumbled upon the information about his grandfather. He was looking for information on himself because he's in the movie industry, researching at the County Cullen Library when he saw a reference book. Just a few pages referring to his grandfather. The librarian encouraged him to dig deeper.
And she told me, go back to the Schomburg and get all those old newspapers because they from all the different cities, because they all wrote about your grandfather and the Harlem Renaissance and what was going on. That's when I found the majority of my information.
He also had the opportunity to speak to his grandmother, Fanny Pennington, who later in life was involved in Harlem politics, but early on was a dancer herself. She was also a barmaid at the original Red Rooster.
I grew up around my grandmother's friends who were my grandfather's showgirls. I knew how they talked, I knew how crazy they were, and I got a lot of that into I had a lot of fun writing it because I knew a lot of them people.
Which leads us to today, making sure all will know. Connie's Inn was on this corner, and sadly, at the age of 44, Leonard Harper died here of a heart attack during a rehearsal. It is a story we would have never known.
I think that the lesson is that if you don't have a lot of money with all this gentrification going on, and if you can't build a building or you can always take a pen and a piece of paper and go to the Schomburg, like I did, and look up either your history or somebody else's history from the past. And because if you don't, somebody else is going to define your history for you.
It's a great day in Harlem, and I want to salute Grant for the research and the time. But he did it, he continually said, to show young men and women how they have to research their history, how they have to dig into the records and tell the real truth about this community.
And now we will forever commemorate such great works with this street side.
1, 2, 3.